Hi, everyone. This is Jonah Anderson of Azure User Group Sweden. Good weekend to all of you and happy Saturday. I hope that you're having a great weekend wherever you are watching us live today. Håkan couldn't make it today, but I'm here. So I hope Håkan is watching us today. Before we start, I would like to say hi and introduce myself to the beginners or the first timers of our user group. So I am Jonah Anderson. I am the founder and one of the community leaders of Azure User Group Sweden. I am a Microsoft MVP for Azure, Microsoft certified trainer, and also work as a senior Azure consultant at Solidify. And I also want to share also that I finally got a physical copy of my book, Learning Microsoft Azure, that I wrote with O'Reilly Media. So I just want to share the celebration because it actually made me very happy to receive a physical copy yesterday. So it was worth celebrating for. But we have a very special guest today from Microsoft. I'm very excited to introduce her, and we will be talking about building ETL workflows in Microsoft Fabric. But before we get started learning, I want to share to everyone our code of conduct. So at Azure User Group Sweden community, we follow a code of conduct that all of us needs to consider. So we expect everyone to be nice and friendly, listen with purpose, and be thoughtful. Be respectful to others. Seek to understand and not criticize. Be curious and open to share your ideas on the live chat after session or during the sharing, and be inclusive and respectful in your comments and questions in our live stream or even during this discussions. And if you have feedback or suggestions for our code of conduct for the community, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn and even to Hokan to provide that input to us. And we will be skipping the after session fika today, and this is actually the last session of the year 2023 before we go on Christmas break. And we would I would like to personally thank everyone that contributed the entire year as a speaker, as a learner, and we do appreciate learning with you this year. Both Hokan and I are glad for that. So let me just bring Sally into the stage.
Hello,
Hi,
everyone.
Sally.
Hello.
Welcome to our user group.
Thank you. I'm so
Yes.
happy to be here.
So before we start, let me just properly introduce Sally to our community and live audience right now. So Sally Daba, I hope I pronounce it correctly. Correct me later.
Yes, it's good.
Sally Daba currently works as a data engineer at Microsoft, based in Israel. With her expertise in Azure Cloud Analytics Services, she has enriched her role with 4 years of experience. Sally earned her bachelor's degree in software engineering and has since become a significant voice in Azure Cloud Analytics Services. She is publishing over 10 blogs on the Microsoft Tech blog community, which we will be sharing later, actually. And what it excites Sally the most about her work is the opportunity to build proof of concepts that help Microsoft customers unlock their business potential. Away from her professional endeavors, Sally finds joy in baking pastries. That's great. A hobby she shares with her followers on Instagram for inspiration. And Sally's mission is to empower innovation through Azure's boundless possibilities. welcome, Sally, for in our user group. Great biography you have, and I'm curious to follow you now on Instagram and see your cookies and baking.
All right, I'll share the link.
Yeah, we do
Um,
follow you. So, would you like to say some words to our
yeah.
audience watching us?
Um,
We have 12 right now watching us, and I think more will come in.
all right. Hello, everyone. So as Jonna said, I'm Sally. I work in Microsoft. I'm a data engineer. And today's purpose session is basically to go through Fabric components and to make a quick introduction of what is Fabric and what you can do with Fabric. And I hope you will enjoy it. I know that the product it was announced GA last month, so feel free to do POCs and submit feedbacks to Microsoft.
It's great. Thank you. And I just want to share that we have our community members and friends saying hi.
Hello.
Nika said, greetings from cloudy Malmo. So if you've been to Sweden, Malmo is like south, the southern part. And we also have Davi, that's you, saying hi. We also have Ashish. He is from Norway. So one from Sweden, from Norway, and we also have Håkan watching us this time as an audience. Thank you so much, Håkan. And then we also have one saying hi, Abazir. Thank you so much. Okay, so are you ready, Sally?
Yeah, let's
Yes.
start.
So can you please share
I'll
your
share. Yeah.
screen?
Give me 1 minute. Um,
Let's
okay.
see. All right, great. Oh, we have one more. One saying hi, Johnson from the UK. So we have
Hello,
international
Johnson.
audience, international audience today. All right, that's great. So yeah, so to those that are watching, before I kickstarted with Sally, she is willing to answer questions on the spot. So when you ask your questions on the live stream, I will show up myself and ask that question to Sally. So feel free to ask as many questions that you want because I know Sally is excited for this to share as well. Okay, Sally, I'll remove myself and the stage is yours. Thanks.
All right. Hello, everyone. Let's start. 1 minute. Okay. So in today's demo, I'll go on a brief introduction to Fabric components. And then I'll present a demo, and then we can do a quick Q&A. Okay, let's start. So, the most common question, what is Microsoft Fabric? Microsoft Fabric is a new unified data analytics platform from Microsoft that brings together a range of data technologies, and some of which are already available in Azure Universe, and it brings basically all the experiences under one umbrella. Each component here, it's called experience, okay? And this integration provides multiple advantages like an extensive range of deeply integrated analytics in the industry and also shared experiences across basically the experiences are that are familiar and easy to learn. Also, developers can easily access and reuse all assets, and we also got a unified data lake that allows you to retain the data where it is while using your preferred analytics tools. And I'm going to elaborate about one lake in the next few slides. And with the Microsoft Fabric SaaS experience, all the data and services are seamlessly integrated. Like, you can create a pipeline in data factory component, or you can make a notebook in Synapse data warehousing, and so on. And IT teams can centrally configure core enterprise capabilities, and permissions are automatically applied across all the underlying services. Additionally, data sensitivity labels are inherited automatically across the items in the suite. So Fabric mainly allows creators to concentrate on producing their best work and freeing them from basically the need to integrate and manage or even understand the underlying infrastructure that supports the experience. So, what is one lake? One lake is a single unified logical data lake. So it's mainly a concept, okay? And it's for the whole organizations. It comes automatically with every tenant. So, if you have a tenant in Microsoft, you will get one lake automatically. You can't have zero one lake or more than one. So the exactly one lake you can have. And one lake is based basically on Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2 architecture, which is in abbreviations it's called ADLS, okay? It offers also a unified software as a system platform, and it's designed for both professional and citizen developers. It also simplifies user experience by adding infrastructure capabilities, and you don't need to grasp concepts like resource group, RBAC, Azure Resource Manager, redundancy, or even regions. And all data is saved as Delta files, and we can do time traveling, which was also GA on November last month. And we also have the order optimization. So, what is basically the order optimization? It basically optimized Parquet files that enable light fastening reads under the Microsoft Fabric compute engines such as Power BI, Spark, SQL, and others. And in general, warehouses benefit from faster read time with this optimization, still ensuring that the Parquet files are 100% compliant to their open source specification. And all data ingested into Fabric warehouses, it will use the order optimization. So we have a workspace, we have a warehouse and a lakehouse. Warehouse, basically, we save the SQL data, but as I mentioned, everything under one lake is built over Delta files. And I one more concept that is important to mention is basically one copy. So one lake aims to give you the most value possible out of a single copy of data without data movement or duplication. You no longer need to copy data just to use it with another engine or to break down data segments. So you can analyze the data from other sources by doing the shortcut. I'll show you in the UI. Okay, we have also the concept of one security, which is one lake security that employs a layered security model based on Microsoft Fabric organizational structure of experiences. And security mainly is established through Azure Active Directory authentication. It supports also user identities, service principal, and managed identities for authentication. And basically, the combination of Azure Active Directory and Fabric components, you can create strong security measures for your one lake. And this will enhance automatically data protection. It will reduce data duplication and simplifies the complexity of the security on the system. So we have a couple of types of security. You can elaborate on it in Microsoft Learn. We have the workspace security, item, compute specific security, shortcut security, and of course, authentication. So let's go into Fabric components. As I mentioned, each component is basically an experience. We have Power BI, Data Factory, Data Engineering, and so on. I just want to say that even if you see the similar experience in another technology like Data Factory, we have Azure Data Factory. Okay, we have shared basically technology, but it's something else. Basically, here like a capsule inside of Fabric umbrella. Okay. So with Data Factory experience, we have pipelines with over 200 connectors. We have low-code data flows with over 300 data transformations. It's called Data Flow Gen 2. And I just want to say that Data Flow Gen 2 is suitable for smaller data sets or fewer transformations. And for bigger transformations, we mainly use notebooks. We have also Synapse Data Engineering, which is similar to the experience that we had in Synapse, in Azure Synapse Analytics. We have notebooks, we have Lakehouse, we have data pipelines. I'll show you also in the UI. We have data science, Synapse data science, which is mainly data exploration, preparation, and cleansing, just to do experimentation modeling and model scoring and serving of predictive insights to Power BI reports. We have data activator for monitoring. Basically, here you manage all the alerts, or you can detect changing in data behaviors, and get notified by it. We have Synapse real time. I'll elaborate in it in the next slide, which simplifies basically data integration and reduces complexity for Synapse real times. And we have the one and only Power BI, which is a collection of software services, apps, and connectors that work together to turn your unrelated source of data into coherent, visually immersive, and interactive insights. So basically, in Power BI, we build dashboards. So, what is real time analytics? Um, Real time analytics basically simplifies data integration, it reduces complexity, it provides access to data insights with minimal provisioning time. It offers also automatic data streaming, indexing, partitioning for various data sources and formats. And we have also on demand query generation. And this streamlines the user experience while retaining robust analytical capabilities. And we have mainly three parts. We have event stream, which is for capturing transformation and routing for real-time events to various destinations with no code experience. This is low code experience. We have also KQL database. This is data storage and management. Data loaded into a KQL database can be accessed in one lake, and it's exposed to another Fabric experiences. We have also KQL query set to run queries, to view and customize for queries, and so on. Now, let's start with the demo. Um, 1 minute. Um, Share screen. I think this one. Can you see my screen? I think yes. Okay. So for today's demo, basically this is the UI. This is how you can access it by typing fabric app.fabric.microsoft.com, and you will get here to the UI. You have your workspace, and here on the left pane we have the experiences that I've been told you about. So we have real time, we have data engineering, we have data factory, and so on. And you can move between experiences in your workspace. So as you can see, we have here data flow gen 2, data pipelines. You can mount your existing data factory, and so on. Let me just,
Okay, Sally.
yeah,
Yes, I'm gonna interrupt. I got a question. You got a question from one of our listeners or learners.
okay.
So, Nico Stilis. I work a lot with IoT. Oh, the Inception. I can show you. I can read it
Okay.
for you. You don't need to. You can go to your slide, so they don't need to see the Inception
Okay.
Streamyard. Okay, so the question that he has is that I work a lot with IoT. In which cases should I prefer Azure Data Explorer over Power BI?
Is he talking about Power BI in Fabric or Power BI the service?
Uh, Good question. Probably the Power BI service, I assume.
It
At least,
depends
yeah.
on, it depends what he's trying to do. It depends if he's building dashboards, the volume of his data. So each use case, he needs to investigate the pros and cons between services.
Yes.
And I'm not that familiar with Azure Data Explorer.
Yeah, he did add more input or details. He meant Power BI in Fabric.
Oh, in Fabric, again,
Hmm?
the advantage of Fabric is that you have everything under one umbrella. So if you have, let's say, multiple data sources and you wish to do ETL or build dashboards in Power BI, it's easier for you to do it in Fabric because you can integrate with multiple resources. You can add as a shortcut. You can get advantage of one lake. And in my opinion, the most powerful thing in Fabric is basically the concept of one lake, because as I mentioned in the slides, you will have a fewer data redundancy. You don't have to move data, and it will give you the flexibility basically to integrate between your teams in your organization. And this is why I think Fabric can suit business, a whole business in one service. So if you are seeking to do dashboards and only dashboards, if you have data like in data lake and you want to build dashboards, if it's already in data lake and you did ETLs and so on, then you don't need Fabric. But if you have a complex scenario, if you want to utilize that everything is under one umbrella, then Fabric is the answer. So I think I don't really have answer for your question. You need to investigate with, you need to investigate more in Microsoft Learn and learn more about the common use cases that uses Fabric. And I also recommend you, if you are a Microsoft customer, to do an engagement or a project with a fast track team. I work with fast track team because they can guide you and give you the best recommendations regarding your architecture, and give you basically advices of how to implement the best practices using a certain service in Microsoft.
All right. Thank you so much for the answer. I
Thank
hope that
you.
answered your question, Nikos. Otherwise, please follow Sally on LinkedIn. She can
Yeah.
definitely help you with follow up questions related to developing with this and your question. Another one.
Awesome.
We have one more, Sally. So another question from our audience. Oh, you stopped sharing, but it's okay.
Yeah, I need to
We share.
see. Okay.
Yes. Is it possible to move our current data factories to Fabric?
Um, right now, because the product is super new and it was announced GA only last month, we have the possibility to mount, but it's still in preview. So what mount does is basically it brings everything in your existing data factory, Azure Data Factory, and moves it to the environment in Data Factory experience in Fabric. So you don't really migrate from Azure Data Factory to Microsoft Fabric, but it will happen in the future, of course. I recommend you to check the roadmap. 1 minute, I'll drop you the link. We have something called Fabric roadmap, which is the upcoming releases that we will release in Microsoft Fabric. So why I can't type? Um,
I'm, do you
I'll
want
send it to
me?
you. I'll send it to you in the
Uh,
private chat, and maybe you can paste
yeah,
it in the.
I think I found it. I can, there's, it's
It's
like,
called Fabric.
Microsoft Fabric release plan documentation is what
Yes,
I
it's for
found.
Fabric, and the
Yes.
migration will happen, but we don't have an ETA yet. We don't know exactly when it will be available.
Okay.
But you can,
I can share
do
that one.
mount as a preview.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that one I have. And then I will also share your blog and links also later as
Hmm.
you go. So yeah, but I hope that answered the question of Abazir. Um, that's great.
Thank you.
And Abazir said thank you. All right. Do you want to share your screen again?
Yeah, I'll
Yes,
do it.
let's do that. All right. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. That's
So,
great. Okay.
right now to do partitioning in Fabric, it's available only in notebooks. Can you hear me, Jonna? Can
Oh,
you hear
yeah,
me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I think they can hear you
Yeah,
too.
I
Yeah.
think my headphones got stuck. Okay. I just want to say that partitioning right now in Fabric, it is available or in notebooks by programmatically doing it, or in copy activity in certain way in tables. I'll show you how. We will have the option for partitioning in the future, but this is how we can do it. So for the sake of this demo, I uploaded 1 minute. I uploaded my data. I have a taxi data, which is we have a pickup time and drop off date time, passenger count, and so on from this site. Okay. Everything that I'll mention here, it's written in my blog that Jonna will share. And this can be downloaded. It's 2 GB and it can be downloaded as CSV. So after that, I uploaded it into my ADLS. I have an ADLS account. I just wanted to show you that you can add your all your data in ADLS. It can be added to one lake without copying it to one lake. So you will utilize basically the shortcut advantage that we have. And the file that I uploaded, it's called Yellow Trip Data 2016-03 CSV. Okay, this is my ADLS. And if you click, oh, I can't, I need to download it. So basically this is the file. Okay, in Fabric I added my ADLS container as a shortcut. Okay, and here you can see that I have my why I can't click. I have my yellow trip data in my shortcut, in my ADLS shortcut. So I didn't really uploaded my data to my lake house in Fabric, or I didn't really, um, uh, moved my data. I only added it as a shortcut. And here you can see all my files in my ADLS. Now, let's get back here. This is basically Synapse notebooks. You can choose any language that you want. I chose PySpark. And regarding the environment, you can select a custom environment or the one, the default one. And the advantage here in Synapse Notebooks in Fabric is that the Spark nodes or the Spark session, it can start in seconds. So you will save a lot of time in your transformations. So let's deep dive into the code. So here I have my import. I have my Spark session. And here I'm reading my data. So I'm reading my CSV file, which is Yellow Trip Data 2016. I'm reading it into a data frame, and I want to write it in output partitioning folder. Okay. And my output path, and by the way, here you can copy a BFS path. Okay. My output path will be my data lake path, and I want to write it in my output folder, which is basically output partitioning. Okay. And in my data frame, I'm adding um, a 3 columns, which is day, and I'm extracting a date format, which is the 0709. This is basically the format for the day, format for the year, it's YYYY. And we have also the month, which is Basically this is the format that I'm extracting my values with. So I added to my data frame 3 columns. I added day, month, year. And here in this command, I'm showing you that how it was selected. So I'm selecting from my data frame these 3 columns, and then I'm showing that to you. You can see here all the values: 01, 03, 2016. And to write it down, I'm writing in mode overwrite, and then I'm partitioning by year, month, day, dot parquet. Why partitioning is important in big data? Because imagine you have, this is a classic example that I like to mention. Imagine that you have a vast encyclopedia, okay, and you want to search about one word. Instead of going end to end from the beginning till the end of the book and start searching for this word, you can divide this book into subsections and divide only on the relevant section, because so mainly we are reducing the amount of data that we need to scan. So partitioning is super important, especially if you have a large data sets, if you are talking about terabytes or a few hundred gigabytes. So basically this is how partitioning is done. And if I click on run all, it should run in a minute. Yeah, it's starting here. Can you see here? Okay, so my session started in 5 seconds, which is super optimal. And now this cell is running. And you can see that my output, and you can see that I have 3 jobs. 2 of them succeeded, and the third one is basically where we are writing our parquet. By the way, I'm specifying that I want to write it as parquet file. Okay. Yeah, it should take a few minutes or a few seconds, I don't know. And I'll show you only the output. So here in my output folder, as I mentioned, I have a year, which is 2016. I have a subfolder, which is month, and a subfolder in this month, which is day one. And you can see here that I have all the right values. Yeah, it was succeeded. Okay, all the right folders, and I have my data partitioned. So basically, this is how we do partitioning in Fabric. And again, this is in my data engineering experience, which is equivalent to Synapse data engineering experience. I'll just want to show you in Data Factory really quickly how we can do partitioning via tables. And in Data Factory, you can do partitioning only if your column has the right values already. Like you can do transformation on your column, then partitioning. If you need to do transformation, then you need to use notebooks for now. Um, I'll show you. It should take 1 minute to load.
Sally, while we are waiting, we got a question.
Hmm.
Let's see. I got a question. I'll read it to you from Johnson Balaji. Can I cop? Can a copy activity be used to get the data directly from Kaggle?
You need to check the connector if we have the support for the connector. But usually data factory copy activity, it has a lot of support for so many connectors. So I recommend you just to check it out, to check if it's available.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I'll just select my file. I'm just, making a demo on how we can do partitioning if we are saving it into tables and not as CSV, because this is the only option that is available right now for my copy activity. Okay, so I don't know. This banner is preventing me. Okay, let me see. New. Okay, test. Okay, if you can overwrite on mode overwrite, you can do enable partitioning, and then you can specify according to which column do you want to do the partitioning. Like if you want to do it by day or by year and so on, or by vendor ID. So basically, this is how partitioning can be done in destination in the copy activity. And then in settings, you can, elaborate on the copy if you want to do it in parallelism and so on. So basically, this is the first demo. Do you have any questions on the notebooks or in the copy activity?
No questions so far on that
Okay.
side. Yes.
Um, 1 minute. Okay. I just want to also show you the medallion architecture. I just want to say that the recommendation from Microsoft is to have a lake house for each phase. So basically, what is medallion architecture? Is basically you have three. You have bronze, silver, gold. Bronze is basically contains the raw data. Silver contains the transformed data, and the gold contains the enriched data. Um, Let me just try to open it. It should take a moment. Okay, so In this demo, I uploaded my three files, three CSV files to my bronze, which is basically a folder. And in my notebook, I'll open quickly my notebook. I have a sales data. Okay, it should take 1 minute.
While it's loading, we got another question. Sally,
Okay,
would you like to take it now?
yeah,
Later? Okay. All right. We got a question from LinkedIn channel from Amit Tak. How Fabric is useful in Dynamics 365 finance and operation environments.
you can copy from Dynamics 365 and you can migrate your data to your lakehouse and do transformations. Again, as I mentioned in the previous in my slides, you can do transformations, you can build dashboards, you can monitor your data in Data Activator, or you can integrate and do in data engineering, ETLs, and you can do also machine learning models and so on. So you can utilize the data and to get an insight of your data about it.
All
And I
right.
think we have examples in Microsoft Learn, so I recommend you to check that also.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. So from my bronze, I have three files, and in my silver notebook, I want to transform the data. Okay. So first I'm selecting, just to display the data for you, I'm selecting everything from my data, and here I'm writing it. So you can see that it has a modified data, it has a date, flagged, a sales order, and so on. 1 minute, I clicked by mistake. Okay. And here I'm creating my data and I'm reading my data here, okay, for everything from bronze layer. And after that, I'm adding columns, which is file name is flagged, and I'm making also conditions. I'm adding basically these columns to my data frame, and I'm also enriching the customer name if it's null or if it's empty to type unknown and so on. And you can see here that I modified my data frame, and I want to save the data, so I'm defining the schema for my sales silver, and this is the columns that I'm gonna use. And after that, I'm writing it in this way, which is data frame update, my table dot merge, and here by a certain condition I'm writing data. And as you can see, command executed successfully. So if I load data here, load data. Okay, let me load it just to see. Okay, you can see that I have data. So in sales gold, you need to, from silver to gold, we usually enrich the data. 1 minute, I'll open the notebook. I have also another notebook for enriching. Okay, so I'm reading my data from silver, then I'm creating my gold table. And after that, I'm dropping duplicates. Usually dropping duplicates can be done in the silver layer. And here I'm writing my data to my gold dimension date gold table. Okay, and the same code basically goes here. And if I can, let's see, load the data from customer gold just to see it. Okay, You can see that I have enriched data. 1 minute, I'll share also a slide for the medallion architecture. Do you have any questions about the code? Sorry, I think
No.
I needed to share the slides before I share the
Yes.
code.
Yes. I have one question actually, Sally. If you want to take a question.
Yeah.
Oh, two questions actually came up. Oh,
Okay.
okay. This time, two questions from the stream. Let me just take it before I share your presentation again. So, one question from someone from Sweden with name True Dreams. Can Fabric be used in the place of Databricks?
The
There
answer
seems to
is
be
yes.
many. Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a salesperson. I'm not supposed to compare between services, but I know that you can create many features that is already available in Databricks. It can be implemented in Fabric. Uh,
Okay, great.
so yeah.
Thank you. I hope that answered your question, True Dreams from Sweden. Another question, another one from Nikos. Are those data manipulations happening on the fly? Do I risk overwriting my raw data?
No, the question is no. And I'll share my screen and then can you please
Mm,
share my screen?
yes, I'll do. Let's. Okay, that's great.
So I'll go quickly about the medallion architecture. And sorry, I forgot to share the slides before the demo. I just wanted to say that this is best practices that Microsoft recommends to do. So imagine that you have a source data. It doesn't matter if it's a file or SQL or tables or any big data, okay? Usually, data lands in a bronze layer, which contains a raw data. Then, from raw to silver, we do transformations, and from silver to gold, we do enrichments. And then the final data, the data, is basically lands or displayed, basically, sorry, or in Power BI dashboards or in a third party. So it depends on your use case. So bronze layer is the initial layer of the medallion architecture in a lake house. It serves as the landing zone for all types of data, structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. Data is stored in its original format without any alternations. So you don't have to risk it because you're not even doing transformations on your raw data. And the silver layer is where data validation and refinement take place in the medallion architecture. Activities include data merging, enforcing validation rules, and data cleaning, like removing nulls or deduplications. And it serves as a central repo for consistent data storage accessible by multiple teams. And data, usually in the silver layer, is cleaned and prepared for further refinement and modeling in the gold layer. In gold layer of the medallion architecture, data undergoes further refinement. Refinement may include aggregations data to specific granularities like daily or hourly. It's like window, okay? And window transformations and enriching it with external information. And data in the gold layer is prepared for use by downstream teams such as analytics, data science, or machine learning operations. And to move data across layers in Fabric, you need to ask your questions, multiple questions, like how much data are you working with, how complex the transformations you need to make, how often you will need to move data between layers, and which tools you are most comfortable with. And as I mentioned earlier, for data transformations, we have two options: Synapse Notebooks, which is mainly for large data sets and more complex transformations. It also allows you to save your transform data as managed delta table in the lakehouse ready for reporting, or Dataflow Gen 2. This is basically a low code experience, great option for smaller data sets and for simple transformations. And for data orchestration, we only have one technology in Fabric, which is data factory pipelines. We have a pipeline is a series of steps that move data from one place to another, in this case from one layer of the medallion to the next. And the pipelines can be automated to run on a scheduled or triggered by an event. You can also secure your lakehouse, you can set permissions, and so on. And we have certain basically accesses to different layers. Like for gold layer, you should restrict access for read only purposes, because all the transformations is already done. And you should emphasize the importance of minimal permissions. We also have server layer utilization and decides whether a user can be allowed to build upon the silver layer, and balancing flexibility and security. We have also bronze layer access control, which is basically restrict access to the bronze layer for read only purposes, and again emphasize the importance for minimal permissions. And we also have CI/CD for managing the lake house. We have scalability, disaster recovery, and so on. I'm not gonna talk much about this. And I just want to say one more thing. Tables in Fabric is not labeled. You don't really know if table is fact table or dimension table. You just, it's a logical concept, okay, but it's not really labeled. We and tables usually contain quantitative data that are commonly generated in a transactional system and then loaded into the data warehouse. For example, a retail business generates sales transactions every day and then loads the data into a data warehouse fact table for analysis. We also have dimension table, which contains attribute data that might change but usually changes infrequently. I'm not gonna elaborate much on that. We have also the integration table, which is like staging data, and you can do load data to a staging table, perform transformations on the staging, and then insert the data into production table. Again, we don't have a way to mark a table by its kind. We do it as a logical concept in Fabric, and this is the link from Microsoft Learn. You can elaborate on it later on. And that's it.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
That was the end already. Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Oh.
because I was on the UI, then I presented the
Oh.
medallion architecture and I forgot about the slides.
Yeah, you did a demo before the PowerPoint. We do have questions. One question that came up, so it's very interactive. Our audience today, thank you so much for both on YouTube and also on LinkedIn Live. So we have one question. So from Abazir, are there costs involved while moving data between different layers, or it can be provide any insights on the cost?
I know that I'm not from the financial teams. I think we have a calculator. 1 minute, I'll try to send it to you. Um,
The Azure pricing calculator, is that? Yeah,
yes.
yes. I can send it the link.
Yeah,
Yes.
please do. Okay,
Yeah.
so here you can have an estimation about how it will cost
Mm,
you, but I know that notebooks regarding moving data, if you want to copy data, it's cheaper if you can do it in the copy activity and not in the notebooks. So
mm,
notebooks, usually you do transformations, then you write your end result data. And because you pay basically on the usage, and most Microsoft services is basically pay as you go. And so it depends how much you are using it and what is your data volume. But you can check here in the pricing, and maybe also ping the relevant team from Microsoft.
yes, that's right. And I don't want to add also, since I speak a lot about Azure, and in terms of cost management, I also recommend, aside from Azure pricing calculator, when you already have the subscription, there's also the cost management portal within the subscription, where you can actually monitor how much the resource, like this resource, cost as well for you and your company. Yeah, I think we don't have any more question, but a praise from Nikos. Thanks, Sally. Mad skills. Also, thanks to Jonah for being for the amazing guest. All
Thank
right,
you so
yeah.
much.
Yes, Amy, that it looks like we are on time, 11 minutes ahead of time, but do you have anything else you want to share? I did share the link to your blog, but anything else that you want to share to our audience that's watching us live and recorded later so it will
Um,
be replayed?
yeah, I would recommend everyone to start with a small demo on Fabric just to understand how much is it useful and how the integrated experiences can make your life easier, especially if you're in a big company and you have different teams like finance, marketing, and etc. That each team can work in his own workspace and then integrate everyone into the concept of one lake and mainly get a better insights because of the integration between teams. So I think Microsoft is a good product, and I'm really really happy that I got the opportunity to work on it. And they start maybe from Microsoft Learn, and then you can do the labs. We have labs there, and I think at January we should have also an exam, a certification for Microsoft Fabric. So I recommend everyone to start from Microsoft Learn.
Yes, the great guide, and also follow Sally
Yeah, follow
on
me.
her on LinkedIn and the conferences and events that she will be involved in. I
Thank
did
you.
invite her already to speak in my Extend Women in Tech podcast to know the soft part and the story behind the Power Woman as our guest today. We got one question. I think people are asking last minute question. Amit, any specific language is required to be expert of fabric?
The question is no, because in notebooks I showed you also in the UI, you can code in PySpark, in Scala, or in R, and so on. So many languages, and we have a lot of components which is low code, like Dataflow Gen 2. You don't even have to code, or event streams also low code. So that you don't really have to know any of these. The background or back end programming language, but it's always nice to have a skill in a programming language.
Yes. Another one here from Ashish. Any AI tools with fabric?
I think we have something available. I'm not really an AI engineer.
Yes. We have an
uh,
AI specialist on the audience. Hokan is one, but I'll also take a look. AI tools for Microsoft Fabric. If you have the link, I can also share it to them, Sally. Let me
I'm gonna
see.
share the Azure AI services in Fabric.
Okay. Yes. Fabric
I
is
don't.
AI powered, it says here. There's
Yeah, yeah,
actually Copilot. I see the
yeah, we
Copilot
have
in Fabric
Copilot. Yes,
is
we
in
have
preview.
Copilot.
Okay, I'll share that
It's not
one.
GA yet. Mhm.
Yes, it's still preview at least. That's great. And that's great. I hope that helped you, Ashish. Follow Sally as well if you have further questions related to the AI tools. And probably Hokan also knows. And then we have a question. Will the presentation be available somewhere?
No, unfortunately, no. But everything that is written in my both slides, in both presentations, is basically available in Fabric blogs and
Mm,
announcement and in Microsoft Learn. So if you go there,
yes.
you will find
Yeah.
everything. And
Yes.
I really recommend starting. Sorry for interrupting. Starting from the labs, because there you can, work alongside the how can I say that, about the explanation of Fabric, so you will get the most of it. So start by learning from Microsoft Learn and do the labs, and you will get everything that is written in my presentations.
Yeah. That's great. And this one also, this this session is also recorded. So if you want to backtrack, you can always replay
Mhm.
the presentation that Sally provided and then reach out to her if there's any specific questions that you might need help. And of course, Microsoft Learn by doing is always
Exactly.
the best. Yes. But I think we don't have more questions. Thank you so much, Sally, for your time. I really appreciate your time. I know you have something else to do after this session, and also I appreciate the time of everyone that joined us live
Thank
today
you.
and asked great questions. It's amazing, and this is the last session before our summer break, so I just want to say Merry Christmas and or Happy Holidays to all our viewers celebrating Christmas this coming season. So thank you so much for that. And follow Sally, don't forget that. And share this YouTube link or recorded session if you think there are friends or colleagues that might find this useful. Any last word,
Thank you.
Sally?
Yeah, thank you
Others?
everyone, and happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
All right. Thank you so
Bye
much,
bye.
everyone. Bye bye.